Investigators are looking for the cause of a huge fire that burned through multiple structures in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It started yesterday morning in a cafe and then spread to a shopping center.
Crews were still on the scene well into the night, putting out hot spots. Drivers and tourists were evacuated from that area and many roads were even closed. So far, there have been no reports of any injuries, though.
The NFL is making changes to keep its players safe. The League and NFL Players Association have agreed to modify the league's concussion protocol. The move comes after Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa appeared to sustain two head injuries just days apart. Now the new changes add abnormality of balance and stability to the league's protocol list of symptoms that would keep a player from returning to action.
Ahead of yesterday's game in Florida, staff from both the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons football teams came together all to help people impacted by Hurricane Ian. They put together Red Cross comfort kits and kids care packages and also wrote notes of encouragement. Staff members then delivered those packages to a church which is operating as a shelter for people who lost their homes.
Let's see how people are responding now to that question of the morning on Facebook. Our question today is 16% of married women have done this in the past year and kept it a secret from their husband.
Fonda said ate an entire dessert. Cassandra said gone through their husband's phone. And Cindy said looked through his wallet. To leave your answer, check out the question on our Valley News Live Facebook page. We'll be back with the correct one in a little bit.
It's now 6:27. Coming up and new at 6:30, Ukraine says Russia is attacking the capital city of Kyiv this morning, and the latest target, a pedestrian bridge. We have video of that blast.
Plus, the attack on the U.S. Capitol, why the Oath Keepers criminal trial is unlike any in history. And we'll be jumping outside with Lisa Green for a look at our morning forecast. That's all when we come back.